G'day. This is another championship belt type video. I'm just discussing now the finer point. Well, not exactly the finer points of belt collecting, but on how to get started. Firstly, this is a pricey hobby. This is not to do with some sort of. I'm not saying this to discourage you from enjoying the wonderful world that is the championship belt collecting at all, because it is a glorious, to quote Robert Roode's thing, glorious hobby. But it can be quite pricey. So don't overdo it with the spending. Know your limits. That's the first thing, because there's certain things like bills, rent / mortgage, food, and your transportation costs. Whether or not it is the upkeep of your vehicle, or the money you put into public transportation. Those things need to come first. Even if a family member, and first and foremost, family. If there's been a death in the family and you just say, "Oh, I don't have the money," I know, I'll still buy the belt. You do that, you're an idiot. I'm being honest with you. You put a title belt before your family, you're an idiot. So, in saying that, better keep that money aside for the family. Once you've figured out the aspects of your family, or not family, your funds, of how much you spend on the money, or how much you would spend on the belt. Secondly, for you beginners out there, you don't have to go all out and be like a little action figure about that big, about the size of a Warhammer 40k action figure, standing up to 1,000 tanks, 4,000 bombers, and a thermonuclear warhead, as for the scale of how immensely intimidating that would be. Being a wrestling champ, being a collector, you start off with your first belt. And I'll show you my first belt. This is my first ever professional wrestling championship belt that one got. And as you can see, it is the ECW World Tag Team Championship belt that was held by such great men like the Dudleys, Roadkill, Just Incredible, Lounge Storm, just to name a few. This was my first ever championship belt. I got this in the year 2000, and just the year 2000. But the simple reason is, with having some people away, I just wanted something to. I didn't exactly. Actually, I did want it, but I had the funds to do so, and I had more disposable funds at the time. And this was the only belt in my collection. And over time, I procured other belts. The two that would be my most proudest part would be these two belts here, and they are my world title belts. This one, the Hulk Hogan circa 1986, World Heavyweight title belt, the one that he had made. And this one here is the NWA Domed World Heavyweight Championship belt. But prior to that, both two belts, I got this one here. A company, an Australian wrestling company, Australasian Wrestling Federation, was liquidating a few of their assets, and this is how I got this belt. And as in the last belt video, I now have this, the WCW United States Heavyweight Wrestling Championship belt. The one with the two side plates and the 6th decorative plate right here. This is where my journey has led me so far. But then, that could be a different journey for you altogether. As I said, it shouldn't be daunting. When you buy your first one, you can start figuring out on how you would like to be yourself around the collection of the belts. Me, I love those designs. The reason why I procured them is because I love the designs. The ECW Tag Team belt, I love the design of it. Because it reminded me so much of my high school. Like, we had to work together, but yet we had to fight to be that, to have that connected, that way inclined. Not that way inclined, as in, but to have that unity. And the buzzsaw, the barbed wire writing, the blood, it all significantly said what we believed in. We were strong as a unit, but yet we were tough as a unit. The Young Lions belt, it's because actually I do love that design. Like the two lions looking in to the main center plate, I love that, how that works. The NWA World Heavyweight title belt, domed World Heavyweight title to be more precise. The reason why I procured that is because Dudette, Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, and of course my favorite big guy, and guessing your favorite big guy, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. He won and dined with kings and queens, and slept in alleys and ate pork and beans. Daddy-o, the son of a plumber man. That was one of the reasons why I collected that belt, because it had meant something to it still means something to me. The Hulk Hogan WWF World Heavyweight title belt, the reason why I collected that belt is because that's the first ever wrestling championship belt that I seen in my entire life. Like sitting down watching WWF back in the day and seeing that belt, I was like, ooh. Don't all wrestlers have that? No, I didn't see any I didn't see Macho Man have it. Didn't see any other opponent of Hulk Hogan wear that belt. And lastly, the reason why I've collected the WCW, that particular design of WCW United States title belt, for the simple reason is I just love the design. I find it a lot better than the last design for that particular title belt. But the simple reason is the last design, it just looked too bland on the side and too small on the inside. Those are the same main plate, but it just was shrunk. I'm a big man, as I can plainly see that I'm a big man, and I just need like a big belt, like big chunky. Not to be confused with big gold, but to have a big chunky belt to suit my big chunky love of America. Well, that's another reason. That's how my adventure got to so far. I don't know what belt I'll be getting in the years to come. Well, other belts for the rest of my days on this planet. Then, but the storing of your journey, it doesn't have to be that difficult either. You can just hang them up, and one of the best ways to do that is to get 2 clotheslines, preferably ones of the same size, together, and because like it's strong with the 2, you can hang like 1 belt in the middle or 2 belts on each side, and hang them up like on a hook somewhere where you can do 1, then you can do 2, then you can like do 3, and keep it above your waist height, where some children would want to grab it. And to be honest, and let me just say, trust me, the adventure is worth it. The third point of this video is, don't stress. As I may mention before about the whole Warhammer 40k figurine against the thousands of military arsenal just ready to obliterate the hell out of it. Don't stress about someone else's collection. My collection is 5 belts. It took me a while, but yeah, I have 5 belts. It took me back to next Thursday, or next week, as the time of this recording, it would be my 30th year as being a wrestling fan. So it virtually took me 6 years per belt to get. Which wasn't, to be honest with you, isn't that bad. Like, I got 5 belts, but I've seen people on Facebook that would have the room that I'm in now filled, and I'm talking about filled flat to the wall with the championship belt. I can't actually. Let me just try something there. Yeah, bit better. Yeah, like someone displayed their belts like that. And that is from from the ceiling down to just about above the floor level. And that's like 2 or 3 rows of belts on like 1, 2, 3, and 4 walls to break the 4th wall. Hello! To quote CM, just to do a little humorous CM Punk. Like, I'm not intimidated about those sort of people. Like, you should not be intimidated about my 5. If you're starting up, don't be intimidated about my 5. That's what I don't want, and I don't want anyone to be intimidated about if I get 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe even 50 belts in the future. I don't plan to live that long, but I could collect 50 belts before I die. 50 more belts. But don't be intimidated. Don't be anxious or have anxiety because I only have these 2 belts here, and that guy has 10 belts, and I went to a friend's place and he has 3 bedrooms full of wall to wall, from floor to ceiling, covered in championship belts. I'm not a good collector. Those are some of the things that do happen. Trust me, you are a belt collector. Even if you just have the one belt, you are a championship belt collector. You are a champion belt collector of one. You could be a champion belt collector of two, of three, of 4, 5, 55, even 155, if you have the funds to do so. The fourth point with me saying this, just to have fun. This is supposed to be something fun to do, without losing all sense and sensibility with point number one with financing. This is supposed to be fun. Though it is pricey, but it is fun. It's fun to go down that rabbit hole. I went down the rabbit hole with the tag team title belt. I've got a Young Lions championship belt that's from. I procured that, and I'm old, literally 7 years too old to get that belt. If I was to go into the ring and buy it and to fight for it, for that belt was for wrestlers from 30 years and younger. If you're from 16 years to 30 years, you have that 14-year gap to win that belt. I'm not an American citizen, and the latest belt in my collection is a United States Heavyweight Championship belt. Do I care that I'm not in my late teens through to my 20s? No, I'm not. Do you think I'm worried because I am not a United States citizen? Hell no. Because I love those belts. And you can love the belts from territories that you're not a part of. You don't always have to go with WWE. Whoop whoop! Whoop whoop! There, I just triggered some weak-minded belt lovers. Oh, you gotta always buy the WWE stuff, mate. Because WWE do the best. Yeah! Guess what? Yeah. I'm doing a Stone Cold Steve Austin to the WWE belt onlyers. You don't have to stick with the WWE. They're great companies. The NWA. Great plethora of designed belts. You got WCW. Their tag team title belts look smashing. That belt that I got, the WCW United States Heavyweight title belt, that looks outstanding. They're two hardcore title belts. They're World Heavyweight title belt circa 1991 to 1994. That's beautiful. Their television title, that looks exquisite. Then you got the history of ECW from Eastern Championship Wrestling through to when they closed being Extreme Championship Wrestling. Just the entire lineup of belts there. Beautifully designed. You've got Ring of Honor. You've got TNA now Impact. You've got Global Force Wrestling, just a new company. You got New Japan, Old Japan Pro Wrestling. You got DDT, which is Dramatic Dream Team. You've got indie companies from what you would call overseas. If you love the sight of their belts, You can ask someone, can you have a replica of that belt being made? I have quite a lot of indie belts that I would love to have in my collection, and I will be purchasing. I will be having them made for me. You don't have to stick with one company, because that is depressing. Go all out. Go to different companies. As my collection has proven, I've got one from a indie Australian company called Australasian Wrestling Federation. Got one ECW Tag Team Championship belt. Got one NWA one from NWA. Got one from WCW and one from the WWE. 5 or WWF back then. 5 professional wrestling promotions. I got one belt from each of them, and that's slowly but surely growing my collection. Next up, I could go with New Japan. Next one I could go for Ring of Honor. Next one I could go for is a WCCW. Because they have beautiful design belts. I can even go AWA. Tag belts. I can go back to the tag team belts. I can go with the tag team belt. I can go with a heavyweight title belt. I can go with a cruiserweight belt if I want to. I could go for a European design. I can go for a Australasian design. I can go for a Commonwealth design. I can go for any design belt. Because it is fun. It is fun to see what you could see and you can get next. Within reason of point number 1. And my 5th and final point on this whole thing. Relax. When you first get your first belt, just relax and enjoy with you being in this company. Then later on you can get your second. With me, I got my 5th. I'm just now relaxing and enjoying myself with the belts. And it's just so amazing to be a part of such a hobby and to be a part of such a unique community of belt lovers. You will not be denied any support. Because there are people out there that would help you to learn. There are great Facebook groups that would help you out in this sort of quest. I just recently asked, what belt should I collect next and why? Some have given me good pointers, like go for the Andre the Giant 1987 belt. Some have said for me to go for the big gold belt itself. Some have said go for the tag team belt that Demolition held for the longest time. Some have said for me to go more modern with the WWE. Some told me to go classic with the NWA. I have taken all those points as great advice for me. Now I will be going forward into my future, getting my 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th to do the whole Ty Dillinger. Boom. Or the Diamond Cutter. Ty Dillinger, Diamond Dallas Page. Sorry, I just had to do that sort of joke. But still, just relax and enjoy what comes what may. Whatever will come. Whatever will be when it comes to your belt the collection. It's not important on how many belts you get. It's not how fast you can go collect each and every single belt. This is a hobby of progression. This is a hobby of self-discovery. This is a hobby of design. This is just simply one of the best hobbies out there. I'm not saying it because I am a belt collector myself. I'm saying this because when I wake up in the morning, this is actually my bedroom that I'm recording, that I record these videos in, and I hang them up just on a second-hand clothes area. That's where I put my belts. I wake up first thing in the morning and I look to my right hand side and go, hey, hello, good morning. And I just smiled because it took me a long time just to get those 5 belts. I'll get the next one, could get the next belt like that in a few months. But it's just how you need to view things. As I've mentioned before, the finances. Second of all, just don't go all gung ho. You know the points. You can just rewind and play the points again. And to be honest with you, it's great. And on that note, I'm just going to say this. Enjoy your time collecting the belts. And don't go so crazy from the start. Enjoy your time trying to figure out what belt you want first. Have fun. Try and find your first belt if you're not a belt collector. Just enjoy yourself. If you remove those 5 points, you'll enjoy yourself, and you won't wreck yourself. That's the point. That's the ultimate point that I'm making here. Enjoy yourself, don't wreck yourself. Hopefully see you in another video. Bye.